Good day and welcome to Geography 1200, People, Place and the Environment. I'm Peter Bush and this is Module 4, Introduction to Module 4, and an introduction to the midterm tests. I'm sure that's all on your mind where you're on study break. So sorry this is a bit late in the posting, but I'm sure you have lots of time on your study break while you're on the beach or wherever you may be checking in with the course. So let's get right to it. So Module 4 is a new topic, and in Module 4 you're going to be studying about water. Oh, there's that silly thing. Sorry. So Module 4 is about freshwater, oceans, water resources, and water pollution. So in this module you're going to learn about the various aquatic and saltwater life zones and human activities that affect them. You're going to look at aquatic diversity. You're going to look at water problems that people face. Water is the two problems associated with water. It's either there's too much or there's too little. And we're going to take a look at some water pollution issues. So there's some readings to do outlined in the module. And in particular, you have Chapter 7, 13, 15, and 22 for this module. So 4 chapters for this module. And again, this module will not be on the test, okay? Because it's going to go beyond there, just the way the study break kind of interrupted Module 4. Okay, so for Module 4, let's get straight to it. So there's a PowerPoint presentation, but your assignment is pretty straightforward. You're going to learn and study about water sources. In particular, you're going to try to identify and understand the water sources, meaning where you get your water to drink. So when you flush the toilet, where does that water come from? Not necessarily where it goes. So you're interested in that first part for sure, where that water comes from. Okay? And then if you try to understand the second part of where the water in and then water out, where does it go, that may be a cycle that the water is coming from the same place and then going back to either the same or a different place. Okay, so in the assignment you're going to be identifying the water source for a community that you live in. So if you can't find information about that community, then you're going to, obviously if you're at St. Mary's, you're going to study Halifax. Okay. Part B, you're going to choose one of the following communities and do a similar understanding of the water sources for that community. So if you happen to be from Truro, Vancouver, Miramichi, Regina, or Waterloo, and you did that city, so Vancouver might be a possibility for a number of students, please don't do the same thing again. Well, don't just say, well, I'm from Vancouver and I'd answer that in B. You need to pick another city. Okay? In that, you're going to identify the water sources, the supply to the community, identify the number of people that use this water source. You can identify whether the water extraction, that's the in, and the discharge system for the community is an open or closed system. So that's what I was going to get at before. So if it's an open system, okay, which means you get the water from one place and then it goes to another. So for example, in Halifax, we get it from Pockwalk Lake, and that's where we get it from. So that's the extraction, and the discharge is to the ocean, right? So that's an open system. A closed system is, I lived in Hamilton, we got the water from Lake Ontario and the water went discharged. So the extraction was from Lake Ontario and the discharge was back to Lake Ontario. Okay? Then part C of the assignment is going to be looking at measures the community can adopt for a water efficiency. Okay? And then I've given a word limit expectation for that assignment. Okay? Try to make sure that you reference. If you don't do any referencing, you'll probably lose a part mark. And also try to make sure that you write it as an assignment and not as if you're writing a blog. Try to take some care in your grammar. But generally, students are doing very well with their assignments so far. The discussion. Again, students are doing well with the discussion. A few students still need to try to be more substantive. In other words, be more around 120 words. Extra thought into what the response is the key thing there, and just not the first thing. Think about it, do some research associated with your response. The discussion topic for this week is why must Canadians still conserve water even though we have lots of lakes and rivers? List some ways you can conserve water. Okay? And that's it for Module 4. Okay, so that's Module 4. The course is over halfway over, and when you get back from study break on the Tuesday, the 31st of February, you will be conducting your midterm test. Okay, so let me explain how this midterm test works. It's going to be different for the first time that you've done it this way for a number of students. So you can write, and I've explained this before, but I'll explain it again. You can write the test at any time during the day from 12:01 early in the morning on that Tuesday morning. You can write it up until 11 p.m. So you still have to start at 11 p.m. because the test will close at midnight or 11:59 on the Tuesday night. Okay? So you have 1 hour. How it works is once you log in, you have an hour, and then that's it. So you can't pause it to go to the bathroom. You can't pause it to check an answer in the textbook. It's a running clock. You need to be at a reliable computer, because if your computer runs out of batteries, I forgot to charge it, Professor Bush, is not an acceptable excuse. Okay? You start the test, you have to finish it. So if you're not sure about the reliability of your computer or your Wi-Fi, like I would not write this test at Starbucks. Go to a reliable source. If your home isn't reliable, go to the university in the library or something like that. Okay? So you have 1 hour. There will be a total of about 65 questions on the test, so a little less than a minute per mark, per question. Okay? So you need to move through the questions at a relatively consistent manner. The intention of the textbook, the test, is to be a closed book. Of course, I'm not in your living room or wherever you are writing your tests to check, but the check is that you will run out of time if you try to look up every question. Okay? So prepare as if it's a closed book test. Okay? So that's your test. It's mostly multiple choice and true and false. There is a 1 or 2 questions at the end that are a list, just a few words. You have to type in a few words, kind of short answer type thing, very short. Okay, that's it for the test. Pretty straightforward. It takes 1 hour, and it can be written at any time. You need to have access to a reliable computer, quiet environment. I encourage you to, if you're a live-in residence, to find another place that you have some certainty that it will be quiet for that 1 hour. Okay? That's it, guys, for this video. Good luck on Module 4 and your test, and we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks. Take care, and goodbye.